What is going on, broskies? Yeah, I've been off for, what is it, I believe maybe 2 or even 3 weeks. Haven't put up a video. It's been kind of busy over here, you know, schoolwork. Just got finished with midterms. Actually, no, that is a lie. I have one more midterm tomorrow, but I'm pretty much done because it's going to be easy as hell. It's, math. But then again, it's going to be pretty easy because the teacher allowed us to have, like, these flashcards, and we were allowed to, like, write down anything we wanted on it, like formulas, how to do them, and then they were attached to our individual tests. So this test is going to be a breeze. But right now I am playing Macro Watts. It's a pretty interesting variation of Watts, where, of course, you know, you play your Watts, you get your search from Cobra, you get to protect your guys with Giraffe, and you get to, like, banish, like, certain, like, exceed. It's mostly for exceeds so that they lose their material. With Pheasant. Let's see, and you basically attack the life points directly until, of course, you know, they lose. And you protect your guys with stall cards, Exodia style, or Final Countdown, you know, using Threatening War, Wabaku, all that kind of good stuff. This was pretty good. You know, I set my whole back row. I have Starlight Road. Like, what are the odds of him having heavy? So, of course, he plays the heavy. I got my road, and I get my Stardust Dragon. Now, this is pretty good because if you do manage to get your Stardust Dragon while you have your Watts on field, if your opponent tries to, like, Dark Hole or anything, or Mirror Force your Watts, because even though Giraffe can, you know, protect your monsters from, you know, other traps being activated after he attacks, then again, your opponent can still activate traps for his attack. So that's the only downside. But if it's like a deep prison or something, you know, you only lose him, and you have the rest of your team, plus you have 2 other Giraffes if necessary. But the main focus of this duel is my opponent. He's using this pretty awesome Blue Eyes Beatdown deck. He said the whole point of it was to get out your Blue Eyes, protect it with Lord of D and a bunch of trap cards, and just beat down your opponent with Blue Eyes. Now that's nice because I, for one, love Blue Eyes White Dragon. It was my favorite card when I was a kid, just because of how, like, you know, 3 things. 1, how it looked. I thought the card itself was a beautiful card. No homo. It was just like so, like, you know, awesome looking. In the show, it was badass. It was like the strongest thing outside of Exodia, you know, having that 3000 attack. And 2, just the overall, like, awesomeness of the card. It's a dragon. I love dragons, personally. And this guy takes it to a cool level, where right here, you know, he uses the White Dragon ritual to get out the Paladin, which is able to tribute to summon his Blue Eyes, which he can then proceed, you know, to beat over things. Now, the only thing he's missing right here is the Lord of Dragon. But, you know, that's not a bother. I mean, like, the way that I'm predicting the deck, I mean, if anything, maybe I can get a deck profile from this guy in the future, because this is a pretty fun deck to use, that I would think. Let's see. I would think that you have ways of getting out the Blue Eyes for, like, one part of the deck. You have your Lord of D and a sub part of the deck, searching, and also that kind of half, so that equals up to that. And then the rest of it would be protection. So that's how I see it. But maybe I'll get a deck profile in the future. Yeah, we had a little well, I had a little miscommunication right here. You know, I was like, you know, it's my turn. Why are you doing this? But, you know, I'm a pretty chill dude. This is what he meant to do, and, you know, I'm not a harsh guy. I'm playing frigging stall Macro Watts, so I just let him have it. Seemed like a pretty cool dude. I didn't see why not. It wasn't a match. Who cares? So beyond that, you know, let's see. It's pretty cold out here, friggin' New York. Let's see. I think it was like what, like -15 this morning. It was crazy. What else? Let's see. In other Yu-Gi-Oh news, apparently Worlds, not Nationals, Worlds is going to be hosted here in the USA, but the thing about it is that it's going to be hosted in Las Vegas. That's pretty interesting. quoting Mega Capital G, you know, how are you gonna have a children's card game world tournament hosted in Sin City? It just seems kind of weird. I mean, my thought behind it is probably, you know, it's famous for its card games, specifically poker, blackjack, and I thought it would be funny, I think, to just have it, you know, in Las Vegas. That's what I thought. Oh, I did something pretty sick here. Pretty bastard move. I used Monster Reborn to get his blue eyes, and then proceed to just beat down. I thought that was, and it equaled up so nicely. It was like 6,000 right there, plus the pheasant, but whatever. And of course, we go into game 2. Let's see. But anyway, back to Las Vegas. I mean, granted, most of the people that are in these tournaments are, you know, in their 20s or whatever. I mean, yeah, I think last Worlds there wasn't anybody below 18, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, I guess it's not that much of a problem. This game really, to sum it up, there's a pretty funny picture of, and yeah, it goes, you know, target audience. No, it shows Yu-Gi-Oh! Target audience, and then it shows a picture of a kid. Then it shows, you know, actual audience, and then it shows like this, like, you know, grown ass like teen in his 20s. And then you have a picture of like Black Ops, target audience, and then it swaps the pictures, and then actual audience, you know, the kid. I thought that was pretty funny. I opened up with a pretty good hand right here. I got Cobras to search for my things. I got Macrocosmo, so if he wants to get anything, so if he needs to get anything engraved, that's taken care of. And I have anything, if you decide to summon anything, I got the warning, and I have 3 stall cards that will stall me for at least 5 turns with Swords of Revealing Light. What else is in the news? Any discussions that I need to do? I don't know. Maybe the game, maybe how the game state's doing right now. What I wanted to do was I was gonna play this deck. I wanted to play this deck against, like, you know, the meta decks, but this guy came up, and I was like, oh man, this deck's not meta. But it ended up being, you know, a pretty fun duel. So I said, I'll just keep recording. Why the hell not? And it ended up being a pretty fun duel. So that's pretty good. Plus, it's good for one of my segments, you know, fun duel, which you can see. I have, like, I want to say 3 segments. There's my average duels, where I have one legit deck versus another legit deck. I have my fun duels, which is, you know, one fun deck versus some another deck if it happens to be fun. Like, for example, my other, I don't think I titled it that way though, when I did Fire King versus Batteryman, that was a fun duel. And then my third are my noob duels, which I have, like, what, I think 2 of those, I think, my premiere video, and I'm not sure if there's another one. Speaking of noobs, I didn't get the opportunity to record these. They were just like, they just happened so quick, I wasn't able to record them. Like, you know, they just raged right away. You know, I have been doing off and on, just not recording for these past weeks because of all these midterms. I've just, you know, plainly been doing. And I've run into some pretty stupid people over these past weeks. You know, plain rage quitters, people saying I'm not playing fast enough, or my deck is too newbie, or I get rage quits, because one deck I've really been playing lately are the Constellars. I just love this deck. I'll probably show some duels with that one in the very near future. I love the deck. It's just, you know, you get your searches off really nice. The exceeds are awesome, especially if you get, like, the 3 main guys on board. If you get Pleiades, Omega, and Beehive on board, you pretty much can't be touched. It's nice trap lineup, also provides for some nice protection, it's removal. And just play this as a boss, and then even when you're done using all your Constellars, all their, you know, materials, you can just go into, like, well, only for Pleiades, you can go into, you know, Gaia Dragon, or for your other Constellars, or all 3, you can go into Constellar Messier, the 7, and he'll have an extra material from that, or if you want to go into it early, he'll have, like, you know, a few more. And he's a 2700, you know, basic at that point. What else? How much more of this is there? Oh, wow. Pretty long-ass duel for, you know, pretty simple decks. What else? Excuse me, I don't script things. I do things off the top of my head. I don't think what else. I kind of want to do like a ban list prediction video, but then again, you know, there's just so many. Even right now, you know, we still have like what, a month and a half to go till the ban list comes out, and there's so many ban lists. Well, not ban lists, ban list prediction videos that, you know, any day now I expect a fake ban list to come out, to which people will rage about or be happy about, whatever. You know, it's like that video that DDG put out, you know, a while ago. You know, about, yeah, like not a while ago, like last format when the September one came out. You know, about people, like, you know, their ban list videos just being retarded and why she doesn't do them, which makes sense because, you know, you can say and say and say, but, you know, what does it really matter? But then again, you know, it's kind of gives this is more up for discussion for like you know, what you think is going to be part of the ban list or what needs to be hit. So it's not really appropriate for me to oh, but hold on, before I go on, this is a pretty nice play that he did. I was like royally fucked at this point. It was awesome that he got out the Galaxy Eyes Photon, which was another great asset to this. Because think about it, you get the flute, you can summon him. Not only that, but with that other card that he had, I think it was the Seahorse, the Kaiser Seahorse, I think it was. You can easily go into him too. Wait, is he a light or is he a dark? Yeah, he's a light. So you get this awesome, like, you know, lockdown with like Galaxy Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Lord of D, plus any other back row he might have. That's a pretty awesome lockdown. Back to like ban list predictions. I'll just give like a short thing right now. I'll probably do a separate video on this, going into more detail. But some things that need to get hit. Let's see. I'm thinking about the top 3 decks right now, which in my opinion are, not in any particular order, Macro Rabbit, Merlanians, and Wind-Ups. For Wind-Ups, Factory, because not so much because of how it affects the game, but it's more of it's unfair. Like, why is Factory at 3 and Black Whirlwind is at 1? That makes no sense. And friggin' Factory is better than Whirlwind. You can do it either turn. It does not make sense. Why? You know, it's an injustice. Why is Whirlwind at 1 and, you know, Factory gets to be at 3? If anything, you should just put it to 2. I don't care. As long as it gets limited in some way, I don't care. It's just an injustice. To me, personally, I did play Wind-Ups at one point, and Factory really wasn't much of a thing for me. It was more about using the Shark Magician combo, to be honest. I really didn't care for Factory. But if anything, it needs to get hit. Not just for the gameplay, just because it's unfair to Black Whirlwind. It's just not fair. So let's see, what else? Let's see. People have been talking about the bunny. Yeah, bunny's probably another thing that quite possibly might get hit. Maybe not, because based off what Konami has done in the past, they don't hit things that will decrease their profit. And, you know, Macro Rabbit really, it's two sides to the coin, because at the same time, when something really is OP, really OP, they will hit it. For example, they knew Atlanteans were going to bring in the dough because of just how expensive that deck is. You have to buy multiple structure decks. You have to search and search and search and search and search freaking pack after pack after pack for at least 2 Megalo, because, you know, it is necessary to run 2 or 3. Which, by the way, Megalo's not getting hit. It's not getting hit. It's bringing money for them, and it's not even that OP in the deck. So, if anything, it'll get put to 2, which is fine. It's not going to get to 1 like people are saying. It's not going to 1. But Konami did realize that it would be kind of really OP if Brio was around, so they kicked him to the curb. But they will not touch things like Megalo. That's money for them. What else could there be? No. I was talking about the Bunny. For Bunny, the situation with him is that, like I said, you know, like it's two sides to the coin, because on one side he's becoming staple, a part of many decks. Fire Fists are running him with Force Raider. Evil Swarm are using him with that one normal card that they have. I forget, Heliotrope, I think it is. It's being used, of course, in Macro Rabbit. It's becoming like the new tour guide to really take from Mega Capital G. Let's see. How else do I explain this? But on the other side of the like for its unfairness, the fact that it could fit into so many decks. The other side of the coin is that because it fits into a lot of decks, is that it's going to be sought after and bought by a lot of people, thus bringing in money to Konami, because it's a part of so many decks. So really, which do you think that they would take priority over? You know, the fact that it can fit into so many decks, thus probably becoming OP, or will they just leave it alone, keep it at 2, because it's a part of so many decks, which means more people will be looking for it for their deck. You know, and plus it means tins, buying from the tins, so, you know, it's kind of a two-sided thing. Maybe, people are saying it's going to get banned. If anything, it might get put to 1. That's just a guess. I want to say it's going to get put to 1, but I just don't see it happening. Well, also considering, because oh wow, that's something I just realized. Technically, Konami is really pushing for you know, their Exceeds. They love their Exceeds, and Rabbit really helps with such. So why would they, you know, put it to 1? And plus, it's part of so many decks. So yeah, that's 2 things against 1. So I'm probably gonna say Rabbit's not gonna get touched. I don't know, but then again, you know, another thing that I've noticed is that they do tend to really go for things that affect the OCG. If it affects the TCG, they don't really care. The only time that it really happened was with Tour Guide, but they only put it to 2, which makes sense. Why would you put it at 1? That would just straight up break the card. But you know, they more focus on things that are affecting the OCG, which is why Gus Crack got like put to 1, right? So, because that thing was already wrecking the OCG over there. So, but then again, Rabbit's been out for a longer time now, and it's, you know, not necessarily. I don't know. I don't do this shit really. What was the other deck I was talking about? I only have like 20 seconds left. The other deck is, oh man, shit. Actually, no. Come to think of it, yeah, I did talk about everything. I talked about the Megalo thing, I talked about Rabbit, and I talked about White on Factory. So yeah, well actually no. Oh, that's what. Oh well, this duel's gonna end, so I'll just talk about it later. See you guys. This guy was a fun duel. See you soon.